Welcome to Wednesdays in Rebuild. Got some, we're going to get through it together. I'm just going to say that. We got single leg calf raise, the hip hinge, single leg stance, and grapevine. Grapevine, you might know it as karaoke if you were unfortunate enough to run track in high school. It's a lot luckier than that. All right, so we're going to start with the single leg calf raise. I apologize in advance. It's going to be hard to see with these pants because I really need to do laundry. It's going to be all right. We'll get through it together. So we're going to start. We really want to make sure of two things. One, that your cage is locked. If you need a refresher on that, let me know. There's a video on YouTube I can post in the group. But basically, roll your shoulders back, not hyperextending. Focus on touching the bottom tip of your shoulder blades together so that your elbows touch your waist. That's going to have you nice and straight and subtly engage your TBI. Usually when I tell people engage your core, it curls them forward. If I say stand up straight, then they hyperextend backwards, and we can't have either one of those. Okay, so the ball of your foot is round. That's the name. So the tendency will be, while we do this, to roll inward. We're going to resist that by making sure your glute is on all the way. Do not focus on how far your drop is. All we care about is that we're getting lower than flat, so some sort of negative slope, and then lifting to some sort of positive slope. Don't really care what your range of motion is. I really don't. Try not to hurt your plantar fascia. If this is really painful, stop and mobilize your plantar fascia foot first by rolling your foot out, and then we'll try it again. If this is still not working for you, or you're rehabbing specifically plantar fasciitis, and you know this is a bad idea, reach out to me, and we'll talk about a different way to do it. But make sure you have something to balance against. And balance is an instinct, right? So we don't need to push or press. We're not putting our weight on it. All we need is a little bit of proprioceptive input. And that can come from just tapping your hand or letting it rest there, right? So try not to put pressure because we really want your calf doing the work. So in final note, we've got locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked, bent. Again, very subtle, but important, right? Locked, there's no blood flow really because you're using all the, like that in and of itself is an exercise. When you unlock it, you're still straight, but still a little bit of range of motion. We need a teeny tiny bend in it, not a squat, but you're going to get the most out of this if you have a bend in your knee. So 30 seconds on each side. Really focus on going straight, up and down, and not twisting outwards, which tends to be the tendency. We're really isolating that calf muscle.
Mommy, what are you doing?
I'm exercising, baby.
Hi.
You want to say hi? It's 30 seconds, switch sides. That princess dress is beautiful, Violet.
Thank you. Can we have a cheese stick?
In a little while, baby. You just had one.
Now the chocolate on bread.
How about chocolate on bread? How about chocolate on bread?
Yeah, chocolate on bread.
Who doesn't love chocolate on bread? You can have some. Mommy's got to work a little bit first, okay? We go back to school tomorrow.
So you give me chocolate on bread.
Oh, girl, no, you're going to have to wait for the chocolate on bread. Next comes the hip hinge. If you have a long, light resistance band, feel free to use it. It can make this a little more intuitive, but you really don't need it. The only complication for people is like, what am I doing? They're never sure if they're doing this right. So once again, we want to roll our shoulders, step well, lock our cage, keep our feet, toes pointed straight ahead. No more throwing, please. Mm-hmm. Hip distance apart and locked, unlocked, just unlocked knees. And then hinging directly from your hips, clenching your glutes. They should be on, keeping your shoulders back in the socket, down until there's no more slack on the line, and then back up.
Please, can you give me chocolate on bread?
Yes, I can, baby, but like I said, you're going to have to wait. Not right now.
Chocolate on bread.
Now we're not counting reps again. We're going for time. You can get a lot out of this, even without, we're just gonna work the resistance. We're not gonna cheat with momentum. I know, I don't like it either, it's so hard. Reset as often as you need to. Daddy's working. Make sure your knees don't lock each time you come back up.
You don't give me all massage.
I will. You're gonna get food. Look at that lip. I promise you, you're gonna get food. Let me finish my demos, please. Okay. It's all good. Daddy will feed you. Okay, so now with the single leg stance, same as before, making sure locked, unlocked, small bend, teeny tiny bend, lift your other leg off the floor. I don't care how high, but no higher than a 90-degree angle, and only as long as you're not hiking your hips. We want our hips facing straight forward. We want them parallel. We want our knee aligned, no crossing over the bounce. We're just gonna hang out here. The slight bend in our knee, no high tip. You hang out for 30 seconds. If that's too easy, shut your eyes. If that is too easy, shut your eyes and turn your head from side to side. Even I'm not there yet. Also make sure the glute of that standing leg is on and working. You'd be surprised how much you can do each day without engaging your glutes at all. And we're trying to break that over dependence on your quads. When people say, 30 seconds, switch sides, I'm quad dominant. I'm like, we can fix that. But in fairness, I get it. It's like when people see me and they're like, oh, you're great. We can fix that. I'm like, oh, being great has nothing to do with anything. I can't wait to have like a head full of silver white hair like my straight on. Maybe then people listen to me. But if you want to be a better runner, if performance is something that matters to you, has mattered before, will ever matter again, then we got to break the quad dominance. That's what makes it different from gray hair. Or can make it different if you care. So, and then grapevine. I bet you do. Oh my God, we got Legos all over the place. Okay. I hear you. I respect it. We're going to win. So karaoke. Twisting your hips one direction and your upper body the other.
Daddy, can I have
Yeah, you stop yelling in the middle of Mommy's stream.
And that's what it is. Hopefully you've seen it before. Okay. You're coached. You're loved. Happy Wednesday. See you Friday.